Well, people, I was trying to wait for some more updates in relation to the 10 inmates that escaped last week. Because, you know, they've been picking people off left and right in terms of, hey, who done that? Who helped? It should be called the Great Escape That Failed. But you know what I'm trying to say. 10 inmates last week, 5 still at large. But they're arresting more and more people who were involved. And this just came up. That's right, within an hour. But by the same token, as I was doing research, guess what else transpired? Man, in good old Louisiana, there was a jailbreak there. So 2 jailbreaks in 7 days, 2 different prisons, and some homies. But check it out.
Yeah, Laura, this just came in as soon as we got off the air with you guys. But New Orleans Police Department, they've been saying that we were going to get more arrests in this case, and we have. Attorney General Liz Murrow announced that they've arrested another inmate, Travon Williams. He is currently in the Orleans Justice Center right now, and he's booked on other charges. But the Attorney General says that he helped those 10 inmates escape from the Orleans Parish Prison. So he never actually escaped, but he helped those other 10 inmates, and he has been rebooked, recharged, and is now back in the Orleans Justice Center at this moment right now. So 6 people in total arrested and charged with helping these 10 inmates escape, Laura.
Wow, I mean, this is such a wild story, and we know that there is more to come. It's like this is really closing in. That's what it feels like, and I know you're going to stay on it. Mills Hayes, thank you so much for that update.
Thank you.
Can you believe that? An inside job. Now let's segue into this other one. Check this out. Travon Johnson is on the loose. You ready for this? Again, a year ago, this guy escaped from the same prison. You think they would have learned their lesson? They didn't. Check this out.
Yeah, the sheriff says they are searching the area for an escaped inmate, Travon Johnson. He's a murder suspect. Right now, we want to show you video that we just got in the last hour that shows this breakout happening in broad daylight. Sheriff Gerald Sticker says an inmate helped lift Johnson over the gate. Now, let's talk about when the escape happened. Sheriff Gerald Sticker says at 4:15 Thursday afternoon, inmates flooded a toilet in the dorm, forcing staff to open the doors to push all the water out. Sticker says one of those doors were left open when 2 inmates saw their opportunity and snuck out into the yard. Those inmates were Travon Johnson, the escapee, and Trayvon Wallace, the accomplice. Sticker says Wallace lifted Johnson over the barbed wire, and 2 staff members took a head count that showed everybody was accounted for, but Johnson, he was already gone. Sticker says another head count should have been done at 9, but it wasn't. He says 30 minutes later, someone called to tell deputies to check in on Johnson's whereabouts,
And they realized he was gone. I listened to a few broadcasts. This stinks to high heaven. This ain't making no sense. And look at these guys again. He did the OJ, right? Running through the airport. Remember OJ back in the day? Look at this here.
the gate. Now let's talk.
Look at that. He backs up. The first guy, he did the leapfrog, baby. He did the leapfrog straight up. He got it done. Look at that, he got it done. He hopped on over there with no problem. This is broad daylight, people. Now, what does it stink to high heaven? People, it's broad daylight. Somebody's supposed to be watching the cameras. I'm gonna put it to you like this. I did security for 19 years. When you have an issue like this, I mean, this is good on common sense. A toilet is clogged. They go to unclog it. They have a few doors which are unlocked. You call security to those doors, people. I'm gonna keep it real. You call security to those doors. You make sure that security has the CCTV cameras on that area. People, this is just good old common sense. This is the kind of stuff I used to train. So you're not going to make me believe this story, but I'm going to digress, okay? Now let's, I wasn't supposed to be running that, but I did. What's my next move here? This thing got me all upset. Because this is not making any sense. This makes no sense, people. The story that they're telling us. It makes no sense. Well, here we go. Watch this. We got it in silence. He run in there. They run back. Now he gonna run. They both running. And then he go do his OJ. He throws the towel over there, leaps over there. This Mr. Johnson, he gone. Second time he done this in as many years. This ain't making no sense, people. I digress. This newscast puts it both together on both incidents, last week and this week. Then I got some questions for you guys. Watch this.
Massive manhunt continues for these 5 fugitives. Derek Groves, he's 27 years old, and he's accused in 4 killings and convicted on 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of manslaughter. Linton Van Buren, he's 26. He's accused of second-degree murder. And then there's Leo Tate, 31 years old and facing multiple gun and drug charges, plus burglary. Jermaine Donald, who is 42, he's the oldest of the group. He is awaiting trial for second-degree murder. And now a jail maintenance worker is charged with helping them get out. That is Sterling Williams. He's 33 and admitted to assisting the inmates. And he told investigators he was threatened by a stabbing by Antoine Massey, who was also one of the escapees. But Williams' attorney denies that claim. Massey was jailed in March, accused of car theft and domestic abuse by strangulation.
Now, people, I want to ask you guys a question. You got 2 jailbreaks, New Orleans and Louisiana, right? 2 different cities, 2 different prisons, both water related. The first one, 10 escaped. Maintenance workers told that the toilet is clogged. He turns the water off. Boom. They go through an entrance, pull the toilet from the wall, escape through there. Okay. Now this week, the water overflows. The janitors push the water out the door, and they got 2 doors. I didn't show the other video, but they said they had 2 doors open. They're pushing the water out, and these guys found out a way to escape. People, do not believe the hype. These have got to be made up stories. I did security for 19 years. When you have an area where you have to open 2 doors, there's either extra security or that part of that area is cut off in terms of inmate. They teach you that in security school. Also, somebody would have been out in the perimeter. Also, where are the guard dogs? Also, who's watching the CCTV cameras? I'm just keeping it real. Now, what's this all about, Alfie? Let me tell you what it's all about, in my humble opinion. It's about water, people. The thing that this has in common, other than the breakout, these are stories about water. It appears to me they're hatching stories in relation to water. And you know what? Let me put that in geometry calculator. I didn't do that last time, but let me do that this time. There's something up with water here, and I'm gonna tell you what my conclusion is. W-A-T-E-R. Water, that's 22. Okay, 22. You know, Barack Obama got that V on his head, and iPad Go 2, he sweats a V. There's something got to be going on with water. And what I conclude is this. It appears to me that they're saturating the atmosphere with information that will eventually surround Donald Trump. That he will be in Air Force One. That Air Force One will have fill in the blank, and he becomes unalive because something's going to go into the water. Allegedly. That's just why I feel. So they're putting water on our brains. Tell me what you think. Because when was the last time you heard stories? Think about it. You people, these are criminals. If you can't secure a prison, come on, man. And these lollipop escapes, if we have another one, I'm gonna go there and work. These are no-brainer excuses. Okay? First you got a jail cell that they pulling off track that they say they have problems with. It's just one Barney Fife excuse after another. If you have worked in a prison, the penal system, or have been in prison, tell me what you think. So far, when I read you guys' comments, a lot of you guys think this is a bunch of you know what. And these excuses that they're given are just given to be a part of the story. But I believe the real story, the common denominator, other than they've both been in prisons, it's water. These are water-related stories because there's going to be a big story about water in the future. I'm done. Just wanted to do it. Again, this one just came out. That's the update. They're arresting more people. If they catch somebody else, I'll let you know. Maybe tonight, who knows? But people, something's going down. And it's amazing to me. I would have never thought, as a former journalist, that the powers would use other stories in the last days, to talk about one of the biggest stories that will ever happen in America. And that is the unalive of Donald Trump in relation to some water. Trust me. I believe that's what they're trying to tell us. God bless. Keep the faith.